Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another what I eat in a day video. I'm super excited to share with you some new recipes. So starting off every morning before I go to the gym, I always start off with the Alani Nu pre-workout. This just helps me with caffeine and focus in the gym. My stomach's been feeling a little bit off, so I decided to grab a celery juice when I was at the market to kind of help cleanse me a little bit. And then hydration. So I decided to have a liquid IV. I grabbed the Tangerine Immunity one, and I do have a 25% off code, plus free shipping, and the link will be down below for you guys to take advantage of that. So I put that in 32 ounces of water and shook it up. And then it was time to go ahead and make some breakfast. So I start, and I'm gonna go ahead and grease my pan. I'm gonna be making breakfast tacos. So I take my spinach out of the container, and if you don't keep it in a container with paper towels, do it. It keeps your spinach so much longer, keeps it from like molding inside. Then to that, I added 2 slices of honey baked ham, which is delicious in breakfast tacos. I went ahead and sauteed that up until the spinach got a little bit more wilted and the ham was warm. And then to that, I added 2 large eggs. Quite a bit of fresh cracked pepper, and some salt. And gave that a good mix around to kind of incorporate all of the ingredients in with the eggs. I warmed up 2 of my favorite Mission carb balanced tortillas. Placed those in my little taco holder. If you do not have this, you need it from Amazon, I swear, best thing ever. Put a little bit of Mexican cheese in the bottom of them, and then placed my egg mixture on top. Topped it with my favorite hot sauce, which is sriracha. And then I'm really bad about eating fruit. I need to be better about it, and I picked up these strawberries at the market today. So I went ahead and sliced those up as a side of fruit, just to kind of help get a little bit of natural sugars into my diet. And then you guys know I make my own cold brew at home, so I went ahead and filled up my little glass tumbler with some ice, and then my cold brew. And because it is now fall season, my pumpkin spice creamer, and then went ahead and topped that off, and that was breakfast. On to lunch. So I'm so excited to share this recipe with you guys. I used to make this all the time, and I actually had it at a restaurant in Joshua Tree. It is a tofu egg salad sandwich. This one is not specifically vegan because I do use dairy yogurt, but you can always sub it for vegan mayonnaise if you are vegan. So I went ahead and took the tofu out. I used just plain firm, not extra firm, not medium, not soft. I find this to be the best consistency in most like eggs. Drained the water out of it, and then I took a clean towel and went ahead and got rid of all the moisture as much as I could in the tofu. So I went ahead and just rolled that up, pressing down firmly but not too hard to break it up. And then I went ahead and let it sit while I got the rest of the stuff ready. I thinly sliced some onions. This is completely whatever you like in your egg salad, go ahead and add it. But I went ahead and thinly sliced up and diced up some onions, added that. And then I went ahead and did the same thing with some celery. Then I took my tofu out of the towel and went ahead and sliced some thick slices of this. Depending on what kind of consistency you want your egg salad, if you're more of a chunky egg salad, cut them bigger, but I like a finer egg salad. Then I went ahead and took those slices and sliced them lengthwise, followed by widthwise. So I got nice little cubes in there, and I went ahead and chopped up all of this into smaller cubes. From there, to get a little bit different of texture, I went ahead and put a little more than half of that tofu in the container, and then I went and finely diced up the rest of this tofu, just again to give it a different consistency. Then I added this Oikos protein yogurt. It's Greek yogurt. You can add mayonnaise, whatever you prefer, and then some Dijon mustard. This is key. It gives it that tang, which I think is perfect. Lots of garlic powder, a little turmeric for coloring, salt and pepper. If you have black salt, apparently that's supposed to taste like eggs. You could totally add it in there, but I don't find that it's necessary. I go ahead and mix all that up, taste it, make sure you like the seasoning, and I kind of mash it a little bit to give it, again, a little bit different of a consistency. Then I take my pita, I just used a whole wheat one. I kind of cut a little bit more than half, warmed it up on the stove. I just find it to be easier to like kind of open and not break. And then I went ahead and just kind of opened that guy up, added some lettuce in there. You could always add spinach or kale. I just used this romaine lettuce that we had in the fridge. This is preference, but I always salt and pepper my tomatoes before I put them on a sandwich or in a sandwich. Popped those two babies in there. And then loaded up my egg salad. I actually ended up using this entire thing of tofu it wasn't the whole cube, but I used all this in my pita. It was so delicious. Such a fun way to add tofu. If you have not tried tofu, I think you'll like it in this way. I added a bell pepper because I eat one just about every single day. Then my light cheese stick from Trader Joe's that I love. A pickle, of course, because what sandwich, wrap, pita, whatever is complete without a pickle. I love the Clausens. They are my favorite. And then these potato chips are life. A Flamin' Hot dill pickle, Lay's potato chips. I add them to the bowl so they don't get like soggy, and it kind of just helps with a little bit of portion control because I have no control when it comes to chips. And that was lunch. It was so good, so filling, so delicious. If you have not tried tofu, give this a go. I think you'll really like it. And then I was still craving something sweet, so I took one of my rice cakes with peanut butter and chocolate and a little bit of sea salt that I made before. All right, guys, so now it is time for dinner. Here I am, I'm just making a giant batch of rice. I like to make more than what we just eat in a night, and then I batch it up and freeze it. So I'm just taking some brown rice, throwing that into my rice cooker. If you don't have a rice cooker, highly recommend it. Love this one, it's super affordable. I'll link it down below for you guys, but you just turn it on and hit the brown rice button and you're good to go. Now for dinner, I wanted to do kind of like a beef and broccoli sort of thing. So I will leave the recipe that I was inspired by down below. I pretty much followed most of it. So kind of made like a sauce, as you can see right here. Again, everything will be listed down below so you guys can easily follow the recipe. Chopping up some garlic and then taking the skins off of some ginger. You need ginger in this recipe, it's so good. And I microbladed that. And then I'm just chopping up some broccoli into some bite-sized pieces. All right, and the recipe did not call for bell peppers, but I really wanted to add them for color, and I just love the taste of them. So I cut up a red and yellow one, and then some onion into pretty large size chunks. I decided to steam my broccoli just because I didn't want it covered in sauce and I didn't want it too done. And then I went ahead and took the flank steak. Mine was already sliced, so I just kind of chopped it in half to make it into more bite-sized pieces. I threw the cornstarch in the water in the bowl, and then I went and separated the meat and tossed that around to evenly coat the cornstarch and water on the steak. Put all that meat into a hot pan with a little bit of spray oil and cooked that until it was completed. I also just chopped up a little bit of green onion for taste as well as for color. Cooked all the meat up. The stuff that's at the bottom is totally good. You want to keep that in the pan, and then I just go ahead and move the meat to a plate to rest, through the veggies in that pan. Again, all that stuff at the bottom will come off and add a ton of flavor, so leave that there. My broccoli was done steaming. I then added the meat back to the pan and put in the sauce, brought it to a little bit of a simmer so it could thicken and cook down. This was so good, you guys need to try this recipe. Again, it'll be linked down below. Added my rice to the bowl once that was done. Added a nice bit of some broccoli on the side of the bowl, and then topped it with the beef mixture. This was so freaking good, you guys. I just topped it with those green onions and some sesame seeds, and that was dinner. So good. I'm going to make this all the time now. I know it. And then this has been my favorite dessert of all time, these Yasso bars. If you've not tried them, try them. Let them sit out of your freezer for about 2 to 3 minutes before you eat them. These are so good. So good. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you all in my next video. Bye, you guys.